And joining us to discuss more about functional illiteracy and the steps to address this issue is Hannibal Camua, Executive Director of the Philippine Business for Education. Good morning, Sir Hannibal.
Good morning, Ma'am Gretchen, and good morning to all the viewers of Morning Matters.
18 million high school graduates considered to be functionally illiterate. Unang-una muna, no, ano ang ibig sabihin ng functional illiteracy?
Well, as defined by the PSA, no, itong functional illiteracy, ibig sabihin nito yung ating mga learners or those who have been surveyed ay hindi marunong, number one, magbasa, magsulat, at maintindihan ang kanilang mga binabasa. Also, meron po yung qualifier na dapat marunong silang magkaroon ng inferences, no, sa kanilang mga binasa. So this is a very alarming number. Almost 19 million of Filipinos are functionally illiterate. So ito naman kami sa Philippine Business for Education, matagal na po naming sinasabi na merong education crisis ang Pilipinas. At ito ay patunay lamang, no, na nasa crisis talaga ang ating education system at kailangang ma-actionan ito ng agaran.
Okay, Hannibal, tinatanong ko yung definition ng functional literacy because back in 2019, iba yung basehan. Kaya mataas yung literacy rate in the country. Back in 2019, it was at 93.1%, equivalent to around 79 million Filipinos. What changed when it comes to what the PSA was measuring?
Correct, no? Number one, ang unang nagbago sa updated na definition ng functional literacy is sa previous definition kasi automatic na kapag ikaw ay gumraduate ng high school, you are considered as functional literate. Pero sa bagong definition na ginamit ngayon sa 2024 FLEMS, hindi na yun po automatic. Technically, hindi ibig sabihin na kung ikaw ay senior high school or high school graduate, functional literate ka na agad. Tinest pa din at parte siya ng survey ng PSA, even high school graduates. And true enough, nakita yung totoong estado. We've seen that the true numbers actually na even high school graduates, those who have passed or have graduated our basic education system, almost 19 million are still functionally illiterate.
And at a time when we expect our high school graduates to be actually competent for work, right? With the amendments to our educational system. When you saw this survey, what immediately came to mind? What was the most alarming for you? I mean, coming from your perspective.
Yes. Sa sinabi ko nga, Ms. Gretchen, no, unang-una nung nakita namin itong resulta ng survey, hindi na kami nabigla because as what I've said, the Philippines is facing an education crisis. Matagal na po itong crisis, and this has been parang ito ay actually dulot na ng decades of neglect. At ngayon nakikita natin yung compounding na results nitong education crisis. Kung matatandaan din natin at siguro napakalaking factor din na almost 2 years na nagsara ang ating mga eskwelahan during the COVID pandemic. Also, nakikita din natin na ito ulta na ng makapag-graduate, no? Or napopromote ang mga kabataan, nakakapag-proceed sila sa next level even though hindi nila nako-comply yung standards. In this case, hindi sila mababa ang kanilang comprehension skills, ay nakakapag-proceed sila to the next grade or even so nakaka-graduate sila. So nakakabahala ito and this only shows na yung mga piecemeal or band-aid solutions to address the education crisis is not working. So it needs to be a holistic and comprehensive approach to solve the education crisis.
Ibig sabihin, hindi ito dahil lamang sa pandemya. Matagal nang ganito.
Yes. Actually, even before the pandemic, meron na talagang learning gap ang ating mga learners. Uh, the statistics just before the pandemic would show na yung mga grade 6 students natin have the level of reading comprehension that of a grade 4. So merong 6 years na learning gap, which was further compounded again by the pandemic, as what I've said. Matagal na nagsara ang ating mga eskwelahan, no? So ina-expect natin na kapag in the next coming surveys, makikita at makikita natin kung ano yung nagiging resulta at nagiging effective compounding na learning crisis sa ating
Pero
bansa.
Hannibal, nakapagtataka, no? Kasi nasa konstitusyon natin to give education the highest prioritization in terms of budget. Saan napupunta yung pera? I mean, if it has been a decades-long problem, is the money going to the wrong things? What has been the focus of previous Congresses?
Well, in terms of education budget, nakikita naman natin na nandoon yung allocation, no? Sa education. Number one ang education in terms of budget allocation. Pero kung ikukumpura mo yan sa mga neighboring countries natin at sa international standards, medyo mababa pa din yan. Currently, I think we are running at around less than 5% of education spending. If you are to compare that with our neighboring ASEAN neighbors like Vietnam, or in this case baka Singapore, they are over and above, I think around 6 or 7%. No? I think in more than education budget allocation, it's really empowering the local government units. If nakikita natin yung FLEMS survey ngayon, naka-disaggregate at down to the provincial level yung data, such that makikita natin kung aling mga provinces ang best performing in terms of literacy, and also alin yung mga provinces na worst performing.
Tama
So,
kayo, no? Na-note ko dyan yung Cordillera region. They have the highest functional literacy. What are they doing right?
no, I think that's a very good question to ask our local government leaders and also our national government leaders. Dapat tingnan natin kung ano yung magandang ginagawa ng mga local government units na may mataas na functional literacy. At again, magandang i-replicate yan for those provinces and local government units na mababa ang kanilang functional literacy. If I may just say also, Gretchen, na makikita talaga natin yung obvious na correlation ng poverty incidence at ng functional illiteracy. Kasi going to look at what are the top 10 provinces na mataas ang rate ng kanilang functional illiteracy, those are also the same, halos the same provinces na nasa top 10, top 15 of the highest poverty incidence. So if we are to make a difference, no, if we truly believe that education will make the difference on the lives of our of the Filipino people, especially to alleviate them from poverty, we need to start with basic and functional literacy.
Okay, so which means that the resources probably should be dedicated to those with high poverty incidence, if that is the correlation that you're seeing here. But if you take a look at those who cannot read or write, the proportion is also highest among those aged 5 to 9. What does this imply?
Well, technically, hindi yan rocket science, no? Sinasabi natin na at the lower grade levels, doon talaga kailangan mag-umpisa yung intervention for literacy. So, for those, let's say, at the kinder level and also at the grade 1 to grade 3 na level, dapat dyan binibuild at the onset yung kanilang skills sa pagbabasa, sa pagsusulat, sa pagbibilang, numeracy, but also on comprehension. So kung nakikita natin na mababa yan, ibig sabihin kailangan pa ng mas maraming reforma or mas significant na reforma sa ating curriculum para mapagtuunan ng pansin ang pagbibuild ng basic and functional literacy at the lower grade levels. So, mas madali yung learning kasi kapag at the lower grade level, marunong at magaling na silang magbasa, magbilang, at magaling na yung kanilang reading comprehension. So that when they proceed to the higher levels, doon na madidevelop more yung critical thinking skills, yung advanced arithmetic and mathematical computation skills nila. So, again, basic to building blocks ng learning yung literacy and numeracy. So, dapat i-build yan at the onset, doon pa lang sa lower grade levels.
Well, if we cannot solve the whole problem right away, it's good that the information tells us what are the bright points and also what are the pain points that we need to get down to. But what is the PBED planning to do about the data that we're seeing? Ano ba yung mga programa that we're working on to be able to improve literacy?
From our end sa PBED, bilang kami ay isang organisasyon na binubuo ng mga business leaders, no? We are actually piloting specific programs that target basic literacy and numeracy. If I may just share that around a year ago, we had a very good partnership with Accenture Philippines, the Kiddie Learning Train, no? Yung KLT tutoring program namin kung saan gumagamit kami ng offline na mga modules para sa mga K3 learners. So meaning yung mga kinder, grade 1 and grade 2 to grade 3 learners for their remedial classes on literacy and numeracy. So in partnership with the private sector, nakapag-procure kami ng mga tablets para magamit, and we piloted this in Cebu and in Himamaylan City in Negros. Ang nakita namin, napakataas ng impact ng remedial classes na ito. Particularly that we've seen double, almost 200% improvement sa kanilang basic literacy and also sa kanilang numeracy skills. So ito kasi, itong mga ganitong models, successful models, we need to mainstream this, no? Ito yung ina-advocate namin sa PBED, na ma-mainstream yung ganitong mga local models, successful models, at ma-empower ang ating mga local government. Kaya kami sa Philippine Business for Education, patuloy ang aming panawagan na pag-aralan kung paano pa mas ma-empower ang mga local government units to make education decisions. Localized po kasi, kung makikita natin ulit, localized yung mga problema. Hindi siya pwedeng one-size-fits approach. So localized problems, dapat it's the LGU who should take the lead. We should empower our local government units, be it giving them more resources, giving them more capacity building activities to address this education crisis. After all, sila yung frontliners natin. Sila yung nandoon. Sila yung nandoon sa eskwelahan, sila yung kaharap ng mga teachers, ng mga learners. So why not empower them to address the education concerns and issues within their locality?
And look at the success stories that are already there, and
Exactly.
the signs of hope that we have for the crisis before us. Maraming salamat for your insights into the Philippine State of Education. We have Hannibal Kamua, Executive Director of the Philippine Business for Education.